Welcome back, America. So Ted Cruz, we've established that the government as exists today wasn't intended by the framers of the Constitution.
Yep.
There's nothing we can find that would suggest otherwise. Well, we've come a long way from that. In other words, now the debate is whether a continuing resolution, which is just supposed to be a little bridge between spending bills while Congress finishes their appropriation bills, should be used to completely blow up the budget, further blow up the debt, $1.5 trillion, hundreds of billions of dollars for illegal aliens in health care, even though the Democrats are lying about that. They have no compunction about any compliance with the Constitution whatsoever, do they? Or any rational fiscal position, for that matter.
Yeah, look, you're absolutely right. The reason we're here with this shutdown is a different constitutional principle, which is that the executive branch cannot spend money that Congress has not appropriated. Congress has the power of the purse. On September 30th, it was the end of the fiscal year, and so at midnight September 30th, Congress's appropriations expired. And the question is Congress going to appropriate more funds to keep the federal government running? Now, shutdown is a misnomer. About 83% of the federal government continues. Everything that is deemed essential continues regardless. So the military continues, law enforcement continues, Border Patrol and ICE continues, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all of that continues, VA benefits continues. But things that are deemed non-essential, things like national parks, things like the Smithsonian Museum, things like cancer research in the National Institutes of Health, all of those have shut down because the Democrats have decided to filibuster funding for the government. And why are they forcing a government shutdown? The principal reason is they want free health care for illegal aliens. This is where the Democrat Party has decided to go. Now, that is wildly unpopular with the American people. Well, we all remember every Democrat on the debate stage raising their hand saying, we support free health care at taxpayer expense for every illegal alien in America. That's why we're having a shutdown. But at the same time, Mark, that's actually not why we're having the shutdown. The real reason we're having the shutdown is Chuck Schumer is in a political crisis. A couple of months ago, he agreed to allow the government to stay open, and his left-wing base got furious with him. He is looking over his left shoulder, terrified that AOC is going to primary him. And so this is a temper tantrum. This is Chuck Schumer and the Democrats saying, we hate Donald Trump, and we hate Donald Trump so much, we are going to shut the government down. The government will reopen when Schumer's temper tantrum ends, but this is pure political theater trying to guard his left base.
You know, I spoke to Newt Gingrich earlier, and I've talked to a couple of your colleagues, so they've reached out to me, and they said they are a little concerned about some weakening in sort of the middle part of the Republican Party, where you have a few senators who are thinking about throwing some chips into the Democrats. And I said, that'll be a disaster. I mean, you really have the Democrats where you want them right now. Why would you capitulate on these things? And moreover, how much bigger do we want the government to get? How much more spending can there be? There's a continuing resolution. There's no basis for this.
So I'll say on this, I'm short-term optimistic and long-term more concerned. In the short term, I think Republicans are going to hold the line. The House of Representatives has passed what is called a clean CR, a clean continuing resolution. It just keeps everything functioning the way it did yesterday. It functions the same tomorrow. So it just maintains the status quo. That's what the Democrats keep voting against over and over and over again. The Democrats are eventually going to fold. I don't think Republicans will fold on this line. I think you will see the Democrats say, all right, it is not tenable. And that's going to be accelerated because President Trump has said he's going to use the shutdown to permanently fire left-wing bureaucrats who are implementing harmful policies. I think that is fantastic, and that is going to cause deepening concern among Democrats. It's why they're eventually going to give us 7 Democrats to say, okay, you can reopen the government. Where I am concerned is as we get into the year, the Democrats during COVID had big subsidies for health care that, by the way, went straight to health insurance companies and made enormous profits for them. Those COVID subsidies are expiring at the end of the year, and I do think there are certainly some Republicans who want to make a deal with the Democrats to keep giving corporate welfare to health insurance companies. I think that's a mistake. I think we ought to be lowering premiums, increasing competition, giving consumers more choice. I'm worried about where the next 3 months go, but I think in terms of the shutdown, you're going to see Republicans hold the line.
All right, Senator Cruz, I call you Mr. Conservative in the Senate there because you are. Keep up the good fight. The American people are backing the president and backing the Republicans in Congress. The Democrats are on a suicide march, and we ought not follow them. Thank you, Senator. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you, Mark.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.